think that changing weather patterns, especially increased frequency of extreme weather events, if not mitigated or managed, does pose financial risk. And as an insurance company, we exist to help people embrace today and confidently pursue tomorrow. So we're in the business of underwriting risk. But we also see climate risk as an opportunity. So our approach really is built on 4 pillars. One is strong governance and oversight. And here we have brought together and we've created something called the Climate Council it's an internal group, and we have representatives from the business as well as the different different functions of regulatory, financial, risk management, etc. And we do meet bi-weekly to discuss our climate issues. We also, from a risk management perspective, we look at it both from a physical and transition risk, and we're leveraging the TCFD framework to continue to explore, discover, and implement. There's also measurement and transparency. We've been having a lot of discussions internally about what to measure, how to measure, what are the challenges around measurement, and how to report all this information. And lastly, which I'll spend a little time on, is strategically. Eventually, this is about transitioning to low carbon economy. And here we focus on innovation and new products because we see climate as an opportunity. And for example, parametric insurance, that is an insurance which is event-driven, not loss-driven. So imagine with me a world where when you have a cyclone or you're an agriculture farmer and you have frost happening, mm-hmm. and you have a parametric insurance against frost, and based on where you are, that event has occurred and it pays out when you actually need help the most. So those are the kinds of products you have. We're also doing a lot of work around advisory, helping our clients, and coming from the asset management space, I call it insurance stewardship, offering discounts for loss mitigation, such as have storm shutters, etc., giving risk management guides around how do you, outlining a number of steps the policyholders can take. And lastly, coming up with new products that allows them to build back better. So, different products which will say if you have suffered a loss, you can, build back with more energy efficient products or solar panels, etc. So there's a lot going on in the space. We can't let perfect be the enemy of good, but we actually do have to talk about what's not working and how are we collectively going to fix it. And I think one of the things that, when you think about our industry, we are pricing this risk, right? So you definitely want good models to price it, and that doesn't mean you don't price it, so you price it with what you have. But let's talk about, I came from the investment industry, and a large part of, we are financial services. A large part of financial services talk about averages and median. When you think about what really impacts the bottom line and what really impacts us is the extreme weather events, right? And when you look at the data for extreme weather events, it's not very good. The data is getting better, but around the means. However, when you're actually trying to look at the extremes, you still have problems. And I read somewhere, and this is, one of my colleagues who's a climate scientist, she sent me an article where the climate scientists are saying, what the regulators and investors are wanting are 10 years ahead of what the actual capabilities exist in the industry. So not trying to say we are not going to do anything because the tools are bad, but what are we doing to create those better tools, and are we going to do that individually? What are we going to do as an industry working together to actually solve for these problems? And I think the other aspect I've also noticed, when it comes to reporting, often somebody said insurance is the stepchild in the financial sector, right? And what they mean here is that a lot of the solutions were built, whether it's emissions calculations, etc. They were all built, and metrics were built for the investments now, and they need to be adapted. They cannot be just put retrofit and forced down without actually understanding the difference. For example, physical risk is something the CAT models in our business really capture, right? Transition risk is something which is different and we need to start looking at in different ways. So we really need to start building solutions and whether it's emission calculation or models which are right for the industry. And again, here, I think there's a role for the industry to come together to play that, to find solutions.